It began as an ordinary day in this small coastal town, a place where life moved slowly, where strangers were noticed and secrets were rare. Yet on that quiet morning, something happened that would fracture the calm forever. Jonathan Hale, a man known to everyone, but understood by no one, left his modest home at precisely 6:42 a.m. Neighbors saw him step onto the cobblestone street in his usual gray coat, the one with frayed cuffs and a faint scent of sea salt. He carried a leather satchel, as he always did, and he walked with the deliberate pace of a man heading somewhere important. But Jonathan never reached his destination. Somewhere between the corner bakery and the old clock tower, he vanished, completely, utterly, without a single trace. At first, no one panicked. People disappear for a few hours, maybe a day. But when the sun dipped low and Jonathan's house remained dark, whispers began to swirl through the town. His front door was locked from the inside, his phone sat charging on the kitchen counter, and his keys, oddly, were in the lock, as if he had stepped out for just a moment. The police searched every alley, every boat dock, even the abandoned lighthouse that locals claimed was haunted. Nothing. The strangest detail wasn't what they found. It was what they didn't. No footprints leading away from the street. No surveillance footage showing where he went. It was as if Jonathan Hale had walked into the air and dissolved. In the days that followed, secrets about him began to leak like water through cracked glass. People remembered odd conversations, strange behaviors, quiet absences he never explained. A shopkeeper swore she saw him once staring at the horizon for hours without blinking. A fisherman recalled finding him on the docks at 3 a.m. writing something in a leather-bound notebook and dropping the pages into the dark water. The notebook was never found. Then came a letter. A single sheet of paper slipped under the door of the local newspaper office and signed, but written in Jonathan's unmistakable handwriting. It read, "I have seen what comes for us, and I will not be here when it arrives. Do not look for me." The police dismissed it as a hoax, but the townspeople knew better. They began to notice things. A low hum at night that no one could trace, the way the sea seemed to pull harder at the shore, and how certain birds stopped flying over the town entirely. Weeks turned into months, and Jonathan's name faded from conversation, replaced by a silent unease that hung in the air. But one stormy night, nearly a year later, a young boy walking along the beach found something buried in the sand. Jonathan's leather satchel, perfectly dry despite the pounding rain, its brass buckles cold to the touch. Inside was a map of the coastline, marked with dozens of small red circles far out to sea, and a single photograph, blurry but chilling. It showed a massive, shadowy figure beneath the waves, something far larger than any whale, with eyes that seemed to glow even in black and white. The photograph was dated the day before Jonathan disappeared. The satchel was turned over to the authorities, but by morning, it was gone from the evidence locker, and the officer assigned to the case refused to speak about it again. Some say Jonathan is still alive, living somewhere far from the shore, waiting for whatever it was he saw to arrive. Others believe he was taken by the sea, by something beneath it, by something that doesn't belong to this world. And on certain nights, when the tide is high and the wind is sharp, you can still see a solitary figure in a gray coat standing at the end of the pier, staring out at the dark horizon, as if keeping watch, or waiting to be taken back.